1 week, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review, where we come to you live from Mott Branch Library. So shout out to Mott Branch. What we're going to do right now is play our intro video. That way you can like, share, and comment. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review. We'll be right back.
I must confess that that dream that I had that day has at many points turned into a nightmare. Now, the other thing that we've got to come to see now that many of us didn't see too well during the last 10 years, that is that racism
not guilty
is still alive in American society and much more widespread.
Broke his neck after Baltimore police.
A handful of protesters, a handful of criminals and thugs who...
Many in moments of anger, many in moments of deep bitterness, engage in riots. And as long as America postpones justice, we stand in the position of having these recurrences of violence and riots over and over again. Social justice and progress are the absolute guarantors of riot prevention.
Mr. Gray's death was a homicide.
The Negro was freed from the bondage of physical slavery.
The athletes marched onto a stage.
But at the same time, the nation refused to give him land to make that freedom meaningful. Freedom without land to cultivate. Freedom and famine at the same time.
And create jobs for our people.
Negro is to be free. He must move down into the inner resources of his own soul and sign with a pen and ink of self-assertive manhood his own emancipation proclamation. But I want to get the language right tonight. I want to get the language so right that everybody here will cry out, yes, I'm black, I'm proud of it, I'm black and beautiful.
Individually, we are poor when you compare us with white society in America. We are poor. Collectively, we are richer than all the nations in the world with the exception of 9. That's power right there if we know how to prove it. We begin the process of building a greater economic base. And at the same time, we are putting pressure where it really hurts. We don't have to argue with anybody. We just need to go around to these stores and to these massive industries in our country. Say, God sent us by here to say to you that you're not treating his children right. We come by here to ask you to make the first item on your agenda fair treatment where God's children are concerned. Now, if you're not prepared to do that, we do have an agenda that we must follow. Our agenda calls for withdrawing economic support from you. We mean business now, and we are determined to gain our rightful place in God's world.
All right, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review, where we come to you live from Mott Branch Library to talk about some of the things that we've done last week, the things that we're working on right now, and a few of the things that's coming up in the future, like the flag raising. All right, that's what's up. Let's get into some intros. I'm Brother Washington Muhammad. I'm one of the co-founders of CSRN. also a registered and active member of the Nation of Islam here in Toledo. So shout out Muhammad's Mosque number 91 and all the brothers and sisters that helped to make, Brother Washington what Brother Washington is. What am I wearing today, Jody? There's a Facebook ad there's this guy wearing this Gaza University sweater, and I'm like, man, that's dope. I'm gonna pick that. So I've got my Gaza sweatshirt on. I've got my kind of a blue hat, my beads, and as always, I'm dedicated to respecting, protecting, and defending all Black bodies, no matter the cost, no matter the gains or loss. This is the home of Black Lives Matter, Justice or Else, and we're doing it for the activist culture and the protest community. 10 years, Jody, unbossed, and that's a nice space to be.
Yeah, good old decade.
That's right. Hey, I'm going to pass to you for your intro, your what you're wearing. We'll get into our mission statement, our guiding principles, and then we'll come back with our guests.
What's up, everybody? Jody J. Summers, child of the system, better known as Spoken True, the treasurer of this wonderful organization, as we've been reiterating, has been going on for a decade, going into our 11th year, fighting injustice, finding our community in different spaces that were once kept in the dark.
That's right.
So we thank you every week for coming back and listening to us, even in the weeks that we ain't up. We hope watching the old shows, getting some information.
That's right.
Because we're not doing trendy topics or things. We're doing actual community members who are going to be here next week, are going to be here hopefully next year. So when the next trend is gone, they still will be relevant.
That's right.
We describe ourselves because we know life is lifing and things are hard right now, and you don't always have time to stare at a screen. So for that reason, I am a big brown bear of a man that is covered in tattoos and crystals and bones and stones and artifacts from meeting people, from exploring life, from making mistakes and failures, and just, trying to find out the purpose of everything. So again, we thank you for coming. We thank you for commenting. If you want to leave comments in the live show or after, we do try and check them as diligently as we possibly can. If you are trying to start something like this, because we know that, the first step is the hardest, finding the right group of people, finding all of that stuff can be a daunting task. Many people don't even make it to their first 3 months. And here we are at year 10 telling you what you can do.
Yeah.
I've learned in my profession, do not compare your day 1 to my year 10.
Oh, wow.
You won't see all of the stuff in between the minutia. I'm very happy now to have people come up to me to say, I grew up watching. That means a lot to me.
That means you're old, but all right. It's all good. All right, it's all good.
I'm not ready yet. Got a couple more months for that. Right. But for that, it means a lot that I've stayed consistent. That even if you're not following me every day or following what we're doing, you are aware that it still exists. It's not like, hey, you still doing that little thing you was doing before? And now I get, are you still doing that big thing that had such an impact in the community? So how we do that is we have a mission statement.
And our guiding principles.
Which keeps us grounded and allows us the ability to bend and not break when new information and ideas come our way. Our mantras or mission statements, as it would be, have evolved over the years from us doing our first protest and walk out and stuff like that to where we are now, where we've added and included wealth and stuff, because a lot of people will never get out of poverty if they don't see themselves as wealthy. So how do you do that? This is our statement. We hope you enjoy. We are the Community Solidarity Response Network of Toledo, formed on November 25th, 2014, the day after it was announced that the killer, a Ferguson, Missouri police officer of Michael Brown, an unarmed teenager, would not be indicted. We bring awareness to the fact injustices experienced by Black men, women, and children who are disproportionately murdered, attacked, provoked, and harassed by law enforcement. Police brutality has to end. We bring awareness to the fact that most often, yes, most often, police brutality goes without consequence and accountability. We utilize the tactics, police impunity has to end. We utilize the tactics of protest, civil disobedience, event disruption, and citizen advocacy to give voice to those who are otherwise voiceless. We facilitate progressive, community-based events that help foster self-development, and we discuss measures to hold local leadership accountable, yes, accountable to their sworn duties, be they politician, clergy, law enforcement, educators, etc., etc. We want justice, equal justice under the law. We want justice applied equally to all, yes, all, regardless of class, creed, or color. For all lives to matter, Black lives, yes, Black lives must matter. Injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King, Jr.
You know, hope maybe later on we'll get into some Black Lives Matter moments, you know, over the 10 years. What are some of the things that stood out to you? But I'm glad that we have our guiding principles, because there's a lot of strong personalities and we got to be able to hold it together. So these are the CSRN guiding principles. All Black lives matter, queer Black lives, trans Black lives, formerly and presently incarcerated Black lives, poor working class Black lives, wealthy Black lives, differently able Black lives, Black men and women lives, immigrant Black lives, Black elderly and children lives. All Black lives matter, and are the creators of this space. We throw no one under the bus. We rise together. Ashe.
Ashe.
And that means one who changes a thing and one who makes a thing happen. Thriving instead of surviving. Our vision is based on the world we want, not the one we're currently in. We seek to transform, not simply react. We want our people to thrive, not just exist. Think beyond the possible. Ashe.
Ashe.
Experimentation and innovation must be built into our work. Embrace the best tools, practices, and tactics, and leave those behind that no longer serve us. Ashe.
Ashe.
Evaluation and assessment must be built into our culture. Critical reflection must be a part of all of our work. We learn from our mistakes and our victories. Ashe.
Ashe.
Principal struggle can exist in a positive environment. We must be honest with one another by embracing direct, loving communication. Ashe.
Ashe.
Love, self-love is practiced in every element of all we do. Love and self-love must be a driver of our work and an indicator of our success. Without this principle and without healing, we will harm each other and undermine our movement. Ashe.
Ashe.
360-degree vision. We honor past struggles and wisdom from elders. The work we do today builds the foundations of movements of tomorrow. We consider our mark on future generations. Ashe.
Ashe.
Self-care means we build resilient spaces by budgeting time, energy, and resources for healing. Self-care is a regular, consistent, intentional, and essential practice. Ashe.
Ashe.
The most directly affected people are experts at their own lives and should be in leadership at the center of our movement and telling their stories directly. Ashe.
Ashe.
Training and leadership development should be fundamental. Our movement must constantly grow and leadership must constantly multiply. Ashe.
Ashe.
Those are our guiding principles. What we're going to do right now, Jody, is take a short break. We're going to come back and talk about not only Pretti protection, but we're going to talk about relationships too.
And who's our guest?
Haley Shears.
Awesome.
All right. And not virtual. All right. Not virtual. And let me find a little button to push next. We're going to take a short break. We're going to be right back. This is the CSRN podcast, a weekend review. We'll be right back.
Now you can get the same uncompromising truth you've come to expect from the Final Call newspaper on all your connected devices. Subscribe to the Final Call digital edition today. Go to subscribe.finalcalldigital.com.
Did you know addiction is a disease, not a moral dilemma? The opioid epidemic and substance use have a major impact on communities of color and many people's lives. Wasion Wellness Recovery Support Center offers culturally relevant inpatient and outpatient behavioral health treatment and recovery support services to any Ohioan struggling with addiction, mental health, or finding sober-safe housing. We must recognize that treatment is available and accessible to all. If you are in need of treatment, or want to find out more information, you can call 1-888-728-2713 to talk to someone or schedule an appointment.
All right, we are back. This is the CSRN podcast, our weekend review, where we come to you live from Mott Branch Library. And shout out once again to the staff at Mott Branch. They roll out the red, black, and green carpet every week that we come here, and we transform one of the quiet study rooms. I wish one day we just get Jody's taking some pictures because he's off camera. He's probably going to say something to mess up the whole podcast, but he'll take some pictures, post that online, just show the transformation. All right, family, as always, whenever we have a guest, which really not a guest, but whenever we have anyone here at the mic, we ask them who they are, what are they wearing, and what are we talking about today? So who are you? What are you wearing? That's dope. And what are we talking about today?
So I am Haley. I have on a brown sweater, a brown hat, a brown shirt, black pants, and tennis shoes.
Okay, so you went all out today. All right. Hey, listen, you and I had a conversation yesterday. We're going to talk about Pretti protection. All right, some of the things that we can, that we need to keep ourselves safe. If you watched the news today and saw what's happening on the federal level, people are going to be tense. Yes. All right. People are going to be thinking about, hey, what are they going to do? How things are going to change. And we still have to keep our head on the swivel. So I see first you've got some things with you today. What are these items that you have with you? I'm going to try to find, I don't know if Jody gave me the clip art to put what those are, but if you can explain, I've got a flashlight here.
Yep. So what we have today is the flashlight. It is, so what I've been doing lately, follow me on TikTok. My protection of the day, I've been introducing just different protection items that I have that's available on the website, prettyprotection.com. So today what I brought was my flashlight. So the flashlight, it's actually one of my favorite for multiple reasons. It's a flashlight. We all love flashlights. Everybody loves a good flashlight.
There was even a song. You guys are too young to know about this, but there was even a song about flashlights.
Yes. Everybody loves a flashlight. So this flashlight, there are 3 settings, just like a regular flashlight. You know, you have the blinking SOS, you have a low setting, and you have a high setting. I can turn this on and I can hit the button right here. This makes it stun. It doesn't work.
I thought it was just a flashlight.
Yep, it's a stun gun flashlight.
Okay.
But it has a major switch on the bottom. So you can make this to be only a flashlight if you have grandkids or other kids around. Or if you're like, the stun thing, I don't know, I just want a good flashlight. This is working.
Okay.
But then if you're like, hey, I do want it to stun, you can turn the switch on the bottom and then it becomes a stun gun.
All right.
So this is why it's one of my favorite, as well as you would never know that this was a stun gun. So it's super discreet, where you can carry it pretty much anywhere. And I always tell people there are signs everywhere that says no guns. Yeah. I never see a sign that says no stun guns.
That's right.
No, like pepper spray. And sometimes you may even see pepper spray, but I've never come across a sign that says no stun guns. So I'm like, I am like your secret link. You know what I'm saying? Like everything you need is right here. So yeah, so this is actually though, and a lot of older people, a lot of my elderly clients, they love this because it's a stun gun and it's super simple to use. And it's rechargeable. So it comes with the charger.
And that's prettyprotection.com.
Pretti Protection. Pretty spelled with the I because it's made for you guys.
Okay. Yeah. I was trying to find out where did they I thought I had the prettyprotection.com, the roll across the thing, but I don't have it. But all right,
next time.
All right, that's right. All right, there's something right. Okay, that's the box.
That's the box. So that, it comes in a nice little box. So everything comes in it. There's even instructions inside the box. And like I said, it comes with the charger as well. So it's rechargeable, which means a lot of times one of the questions I always get is, how many times can I use it? Is it a one-time use? Not one-time use. I've had the same ones for 2, 3, 4, 5 years. It's electronic. It's ran by a battery. I mean, it's not electronic, but it's ran by a battery.
Right.
So it's the life of the battery. So it's rechargeable. It keeps going. So that's another thing. It's not a one-time thing. This is an investment.
Hey, can I hold it?
Absolutely.
Oh man,
I turned the stun part off.
Oh, I appreciate that. I'm thinking as if somebody wanted to attack you and you had the flashlight on, the first thing they would do is try to grab the light.
Yes.
And they will be pleasantly surprised.
Right. And it's also a blinding flashlight. So it's so bright. It blinds you. So the idea is, I tell people all the time, you blind them and stun them.
Oh man.
Because it is a blinding flashlight. If you just put it in someone's eyes, you wouldn't even be able to.
That would be a bad day for a predator.
And it feels light in your hand.
Yeah, family, it does not feel like a heavy flashlight. It feels like she bought something from the dollar store, that she has some weak flashlights. So if you thought that she was the one, you would be surprised. Not only by the blinding light, but while I'm recovering from getting blinded, I'm getting tased.
Yes. And I even sell, this one doesn't have it, but some of them even have they have prongs at the end of it, and that is for DNA. So when you flashlight, if you get them, then it catches their DNA. You can give that to the law enforcement or whoever, and you swab that, and they can identify your attacker. So they have been blinded, stunned, and we have your DNA. Stop playing with me.
You need to get a job, bro. All right. Crime is not it. Not now. I guess maybe at one point, you might think that a woman is a easy victim. All right. But not anymore.
Not anymore.
That's dope.
More women are being protected, especially in these times. And in the future times to come, more women are, honestly, sometimes a stung may be the least of your worries.
Oh,
because more women are walking around locked, loaded, and ready in all aspects. The increase in women taking safety classes, the increase in women taking defense classes. Before, you would never see a self-defense class being advertised. Now you see them. They're just prominent. You see them at the libraries. You see them and just everywhere. So this is a time where women are understanding that it's, you have to protect yourself,
Right. And I guess you really, you would want to protect your boundaries, your safe space. And I want to use that to kind of segue into a conversation that we had yesterday regarding boundaries and relationships. What we saw on the news today about a lot of federal funding that's going to be cut, that's going to affect a lot of people. During this time, how can we keep our relationships, healthy? And I just wanted to talk to you about some of your relationships that you have with family and friends. What are some of the tips that you have to keep those relationships vibrant and intact?
Right now, I would say boundaries. Boundaries are a big thing, and even will be bigger as we come into times. Because right now we are coming to a time of understanding political views, understanding as you get older, just you're coming into yourself knowing like, this is what I would accept, this is what I would not accept. So I think right now boundaries and discipline are the two big things in relationships, understanding who the other person in the relationship is, whether it's a cousin or a spouse or a friend or a coworker, understanding them as a person and understanding yourself as a person. So just having those boundaries of, okay, you know what, we're not going to talk about this.
Right.
Or, this is enough about talking about this. So I think that is the most important thing, just in general in relationships.
Mm-hmm. So along with that, how important is patience? With patience, being patient with someone that may not have your view, could that be valuable to have for relationships?
Definitely. Patience is valuable, but what is patience without understanding? I can have all the patience I have in the world and let you, say whatever and do whatever. But if I don't have an understanding of this is who you are, or this is how you feel, or we are just different people, then that patience just, it's just, you just have patience. There's no, it's like, let's say, to me, it's like a ticking time bomb.
Okay. All right. I can agree with that. All right. So for the people that are watching, if someone wanted to be your friend, what are some of the qualities that you look for in you elevating someone to friend? Because I'm sure there's different layers. There's people there's associates. What do I have to be your friend?
The biggest thing of being my friend is character. You have to be a good person. You have to be honest. Of course we all lie, everybody tells a lie, but you have to be an overall good person with a good heart and good character. You have to care about other people. If you're someone who doesn't care about anyone else, I honestly don't want to be a part of your energy at all, because I'm a good person. So I try to find people who are like me in the sense of mimicking my morals, my values, my character, and truth. So those are just being a good person. I don't care about your status.
Okay.
I don't care if you're rich, poor, like I don't care about that. I care about who you are as a person, and that's what matters the most.
That's what's up. What do you do? Oh man. Okay, so you've got a friend, all right, or someone that you identified as friend.
Yes.
Man, how do you have that conversation about something that they're doing that you don't approve of without losing the friendship? Is that possible?
Yes, I'm big on my big thing is if they're a friend and they're telling, if they're doing it and you don't approve, they're probably telling you about it, And my big thing I like to say to people is, hey, are you talking to me for advice, or are you talking to me because you need to vent? So a lot of times they say, well, no, I value your opinion. I want your advice. Boom, this is my door. I'm going in on you. Listen, sis, you foul. Why are you doing this? Listen, bro.
Right.
No, you foul, or so I'm very open. I'm very honest. And that's just how it is. I'm going to tell you, but I always want to make sure that, because sometimes people vent because they just need to get it out.
Yeah.
But if you're asking for my opinion, I'm definitely going to give you my
opinion. All right. Nikita 43 on YouTube chimed in. One thing that I forgot about was loyalty, and shout out to Nikita 43 for adding that to the chat. What about loyalty? Is that a component that we can use that that can describe friendship or friend?
Yes. So Nikita, thank you for saying loyalty. That is another one. But I'm always careful with mentioning loyalty.
Okay.
Because what loyalty looks like for me may not be the same for you.
Okay. All right.
So
gotcha.
You hear people always say, oh, I'm loyal. And you're like, but you just seen your friend starving and you had $30 in your pocket and you didn't offer to buy them a $5 meal or a $2 meal. Like, what's your loyalty meter? So loyalty is definitely a big one to me, because I'll cut you off quick if I feel like you're finicky. But everybody's loyalty looks different, and that's where the scary part can be. So I definitely agree with that loyalty, backed by the boundaries and the the communication and those type of things. So that is a good one. That was a good call. I like
I jotted down a couple of things after we talked yesterday, and I wanted to also ask you this: can a person have too many friends? Is that possible? I mean, and we're using I statements here. I should have had a disclaimer. The views of Haley Shears may not represent everybody. All right, so she's not representing the whole world, but this is a good sister. It's a good human. All right. So for that, how you would answer it and how Jody would answer is two different things, because I've seen his friends. All right, so that's like, is that is it possible to have too many friends?
Is it possible to have too many friends? So for me, I don't think it's possible to have too many friends, depending on how loosely you use the word friend.
Okay. All right.
You know.
All right.
But yeah, no, I don't think it can be harmful, but if you choose people wisely, or according to the people who you want to be around you, then I definitely don't know. I don't think it's too bad.
All right. I guess I'm down to maybe my last two questions for you. And then if there's something that you believe that we missed, we'll share that. Then we're going to bring Jody back to tie up some loose ends with our community shout outs and concerns. For you, how do you define that word friend?
For me, I don't have a lot of people I call friend. There's no definition I can put on paper, but your actions will tell me who you are. And like I said, if you are a good person and trustworthy, you may not be my friend, but I may consider you a close associate, you know. So the word friend is really, really, for me, personal. It's super personal. I don't use it lightly. So I couldn't even begin to put my friends in a definition, because if you meet them, they're from everywhere. All right. Like I have all type of friends, but they all possess good hearts and they're good people.
All right. Last question. What do you do to rebalance at the end of the day?
At the end of the day, what do I do to rebalance? I read a book. I listen to music. And I relax. So I meditate.
Okay.
I meditate.
All right. Okay. All right.
So,
all right.
Meditation looks like different things. You can meditate a million ways. It just depends on my day. If it's a day, sometimes I just sit there and I'm just like, hey, these kids are asleep and I just want to hear nothing, So
right.
It just depends on the day. I don't want to tell my whole routine.
Okay, I know.
That's my safe space there.
I was trying my best. I'll think to myself, go ahead, just be quiet. She says, I think she's gonna slip up.
Nope, that's my safe space.
All right. Hey, Jody, we had to try. All right, we gave it a try. Hey, anything you think we left out? I know we're gonna have you back. All right, we're going to have you back. This is a dynamite segment, and it changes up the energy of just when Jody and I are here. All right, it smells better in here. All right,
thanks.
Shout out to Jody. Is there anything you think we missed before we head out?
No, nothing too specific. I just will ask you, what do you do to like decompress?
Oh man, I do this thing called I'm going to think about what I'm thinking about. And I normally do it. Imagine I'm coming home from work. I'm going to park the car. Just because I park does not mean I'm getting out. All right. So I'm going to scroll through all of the internet before I get out of the car. All right. Everything on Facebook, Instagram, TikTok. All right. So then I'm ready to go into the house. At the end of the day, I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to scour the internet, learn everything about everything before I end my day. And also, I love to meditate. I've got a couple of motivational YouTube clips. It's like a mixtape of all of the popular motivational speakers, from Eric Thomas to Tony Robbins and a few others, Stephen A. Yeah, Les Brown, Stephen A. All of them, and whoever this was, compiled all of those in one in one YouTube video. That along with prayer. I should have said prayer first, though. So shout out to this weak Muslim, but should have had prayer first. But I did. We'll just put it in post edit. Just make prayer first. All right. But man, positive affirmations. You're with you most of the day. All right. If anybody's going to say something good about you, let it be you. And I don't have to wait for somebody to give me a praise or tell me I did a good job. I can tell myself that. All right. So those are some of the things that I do to balance things out. I think the work that we do is trauma based. It's always based on not liking something, opposing something. And at the end of the day, you got to balance back out. All right. And that's what we do. That's why we're glad to be able to have you here to switch things up. We've got Jody to come on maybe a little bit later with creative expression to kind of change things up. So those are some of the tools that I use. And if you're watching this, positive affirmations, finding something, some positive quotes of the day, and finding something about yourself that's dope. And trust me, you've got more than a few things about you that are good.
Absolutely.
All right.
All right, and that's it. And before we go, just one thing, just everybody, just make sure you are being the change you want to see in the world.
All right. This is the CSRN podcast. I like that. We'll be right back.
Audio Jungle.
All right. I caught you right when you were yawning. Hey, listen, we're back. This is the CSRN podcast, our week in review. We come to you live from Mott Brent's library. Earlier, if it sounded like our sound was a bit different, there was one button that we didn't push. So we got the a lot of the sound from the camera instead of the good mics, but it's still, it is what it is. All right.
It's okay as long
this
as subtitles take care of it.
Yeah, this is a live show, and in a live show, we really don't go back and edit anything. It is what it is, and maybe in the future, we'll have an intern,
a production budget.
Yeah, or I would just say an intern. An intern work for free. All right, heck, I barely got the our new backdrop. Oh, and also, we'll introduce you to our new backdrop. We've got a lot of parody corporate logos on here from Adderall instead of Adidas, to Thirst Trap instead of TikTok, student debt for Starbucks, fentanyl for Fanta. Just check it out. Dynamite backdrop.
Yeah,
that we use. All right.
Backdrop and probably see it on some other things and possibly on our page and everything like that.
All right, Jody, I want to start with, we've got something happening next week.
Yes, we do.
All
something
right.
Big and historical.
And I do not have any artwork, but I'm gonna try to bring up the artwork for that. Every year we raise the Pan-African flag at one government center, and this year will not be it won't be different from any other. All right. 10 o'clock, we're meeting at the One Government Center. We have introduction. We've got some creative expression from Jody Summers, child of the system, and then we're going to raise the flag. So why is this important to you?
Well, it's important to me because it's a part of history now. This will be our 5th year doing it. No other place in the Union of the United States does this. You may get a day, a week. We are the only place in America that actually does it for the entire month to give representation to those who may feel marginalized or discriminated against, or some of their ancestral rights that were fought for decades and decades just stripped away by a couple signs of paper. So that's why it's important to do this, because it will be 105 years old. It took 100 years before anybody actually recognized it. Created the flag created by Marcus Garvey to be hung up all month. We've raised pride flags and all other kinds of flags, and this is our way of saying we are here and not going away.
All right. And I was trying to find some type of flag. What is it that we got this whole podcast and there's no flag? So I'm gonna put just this is right. This is the flag that one of the flags that we're going to use. This flag that we have right here is going to be in the Lucas County Commissioners Chambers. So for the whole of February, we're going to have this flag posted up in the commissioners' chambers, and outside we'll have our 5-foot by 8-foot flag that's going to be flying on at Government Center.
Yep, which replaces the Port Authority flag, and we are very thankful to them to allow us to use their space on this pole on government property. It's not something that you see every day. You know, how to do these things is not impossible, but it does take a lot of work, consistency, finding the right people, making the right moves. I remember one year I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go up the pole myself. It's like, yeah, we ain't got that much money.
Right. We ain't gonna bail you out. I don't know how far you're gonna get up the pole, but yeah, and also there's just a short history about how that happened here in Toledo. I remember there was a Facebook post. It was during one time in a year, and someone said, "I bet they won't put our flag up there." Well, they won't if you don't do it. So I looked into that, and I ran into some brick walls because no one was responding back to me. And I think it was one night that Jody and I and a few others, we went to the NAACP meeting, and they asked for any final words. And I said, well, right now we're in the process of raising the red, black, and green flag for Black History Month. And I don't know how you guys feel about it. We're talking to the NAACP. But if y'all feeling some type of way about it, don't say nothing, all right? Because it's something that we want to do, and we're having a hard time doing it. And Willie Perryman, at that point, he had asked me, I think this was before he was the president, he asked me, had I considered going to the Port Authority? And I said, no. So he said, okay, meet me after the meeting. I'm going to give you some instructions on how to do it. And were it not for Willie Perryman and the NAACP and Roy Wood, they walked me through the process. Even walked me through when the day before, there was a meeting and they told us, hey, listen, I know we said you guys are going to raise the flag, but it's not going to happen. And Roy Wood really came to bat on that day. It was Roy Wood and Ray Wood. Roy Wood is the comedian. Yeah. Shout out to Roy Wood. All right. He'll be at the Funny Bone. All right. Thanks. Okay. Ray Wood. Sorry, Ray. All right. Ray Wood, who's past president of the NAACP. It was Ray Wood and Pete Gherkin. All right. We were at a stalemate, like, man, somebody going to go to jail tonight. All right. And Ray Wood and Pete Gherkin, they said, hey, look, we'll fly it on the county. on the county poll. All right, because at first it was going to be on the city poll.
And there was some roadblocks and stuff.
There was some roadblocks. So shout out, and whenever you see CSRN do something, it's a great chance somebody helped us do that. All right.
And that first year we added up long after Black History Month.
Yeah.
I think it stayed up almost 2 months.
Yep. Absolutely. So February 4th, join us downtown One Government Center, 10 a.m. for the ceremony in the lobby. And then 11 a.m. We'll be presenting for the Lucas County Commissioners a work session. I guess what you will call that general meeting on that day. So we'll be speaking truth to power, and the same as the podcast, unbossed, unbought. It is what it is, and if you don't want to hear what we gotta say, you shouldn't have invited us anyway. So we either fill the room or clear it out. So that's what type of time we're going to be on. It's for our people, especially at a time when no one wants diversity, no one wants equity, no one wants inclusion, but you still want us to show up,
spend
our dollars, and act like it's all good, right? Like it's all good. And this is my last rant. All right, this is for the dominant culture or so-called white people that feel that DEI and affirmative action is some type of charity. And they know that white women benefit from that more than anybody else. However, for all the white guys and the black people that love them, when you guys are on the golf course, if there's someone that's highly skilled, they give you a handicap in order for everyone to have a decent and good game. All right. So no one's talking about leveling the playing field when we're together at our club. All right. When it comes to, we got the Super Bowl coming up. No one talks about leveling the playing field when it comes to sports betting. Just because this team is better and it wins, just winning doesn't win the bet. You got to win by a certain amount. There's the spread. Why is the spread? Because one team, for whatever reason, is better prepared, better coaches, more budget, better players. But in order to have it evenly matched, they got to compensate for that. And we can use this example for so many things that they do to level the playing field for their buddy, for their friend, for their comrade, for their sycophants, for all of them. But when it comes to us, and we built the country for you, and we did it for free, and we're continuing to do it for free, and all we're asking is for the same thing for us that the Native Americans did for you. They let you come here. They allowed you to, they taught you how to grow crops so that you wouldn't starve to death. They taught you what to wear so that you wouldn't freeze to death, all right? They included you. They allowed themselves to be diverse. But when the time comes to reciprocate that, it's like you don't know. But that's cool because we're going to get it ourselves anyway, all right? And we're going to spend with ourselves. And when we start spending with ourselves, the same thing that happened during segregation, we're going to say, hey, look, we well off. So they can't say, well, we're going to integrate. No, we good. We're going to desegregate. No, we fine over here. We're not going to fall for that trick again. So that's my thing on the DEI, the affirmative action, and how they tried to twist it into reverse racism and reverse discrimination. All right, be slick. Y'all can have it. All right, y'all can have it. That's why. Okay, let me end it right there. So Jody, the flag raising is coming up. You've got some creative expression. Is there anything else that we've experienced over the last week that you want to share, or some things coming up?
Quite a bit, actually. As we all know, business entrepreneurs, artists, people that do programming and stuff. This is the first quarter. So there has been quite a few meetings going around the city between entrepreneurs and artists, getting us ready for spring and summer and all the other stuff that when the world unthaws and stuff like that, we are prepared and ready. So I'm just going to run down a couple of things that did happen last week that I was able to attend to. You might see some photos and everything going around, and then what's coming up this week, because this week again is another busy week as we are headed into February. You are already 1 month into getting your sales and clients and all of that stuff ready. So last week from our show, there was the Black Founders Happy Hour that was at the Toll House. If you guys don't know what Toll House is, it's a space on 1447 North Summit Street where creators and entrepreneurs and investors can come and meet in private. It is a membership, but they do hold special events. This was one of them where you can come. They have a jazz lounge in there and a whole bunch of office space that you could rent out, do stuff. Coffee house, back room, and a whole bunch of other stuff. But the Black Founders Happy Hour was held there. There was also a canvas to community, how creativity works, that was held by Gutter Dave. That was also in the building. So there were three technically, but I can't talk about the other stuff, but 3 in there that day. So I went to all of that. Also downtown, it was a very busy Thursday. There was the NOR business networking, everything launched. So you might see some pictures from that. Shout out to Jerry. Shout out to, I'm going to say it's Andrew. I need a lot of people, but shout out to everybody and all the entrepreneurs to show up. There was even one person that came with her resume because, and that's something that you don't really think about that much, but you put 20, 30, 40 business entrepreneurs in the room. We might need interns. So this young lady actually came with her resume as everybody was telling us about our business and stuff like that. So I thought that was very forward thinking and stuff, because me personally, I don't like doing stuff online. I'd rather meet the person, because online is only going to tell you a part of the story. If I tell you myself, you're going to get some of those emotions and some of those things that brought me to saying this is the hill I die on. The Friday, the 24th, there was the mic drop karaoke hosted by Rob Posker. That was also at Toll House. The Toll House was very busy this weekend and everything. And that was some of the things I attended. There was also a music video shoot. Shout out to OIC and Code Bar for their bonkers music video, and did some other stuff like that. I'm a little bit at every place. And I'm saying it more now because I do want other artists to come on the show. I know we do community leaders and people that sell stuff, but I've been doing, in another month and like 10 days, I'll be doing independent artistry for 10 years. And I'm also getting ready to try and shift to where I'm not on stage as much, but still paying my bills, doing this stuff, creating programming. So I want to bring more artists into this space where they're starting. Any place that I find community centers, I want to highlight them out, like Cups of Art, which is downtown. And next week, I'll be talking about the events they got coming up for Valentine's Day. If you got an open mic out there, or just a gathering, karaoke night or something, let us know. Tell us about it on the show. Come on the show. It's not a very scary thing. Once you get past the first minute or two, plus we have behind the scenes to help you out with everything, that will be all good. So this week, again, Tuesday is my nothing else is happening but the show day, but I do try and appreciate those creators and events that do happen on this Tuesday. So there was a writers workshop writing at the Sylvania Branch Library, because Ode to the Zip Code is coming up. If you don't know what that is, I'm one of the recipients, I think 2019. Basically, you take your zip code and however many numbers in that, say you have 4, 3, 6, you're going to have 4 words, 3 words, and 6 words. If you have a 0, you can leave it blank or hyphenated, and enter your words into the contest. It goes in the city paper and a whole bunch of other stuff. And I think in eventually, because I'm in the first 10 years of that with the housing authority and stuff, so you might get an extra book out of it that you didn't know about. So that was today. I know they will be having other workshops. So if you're interested, check out the Ode to the Zip Code online. If you're local and you can apply, I suggest you do. There's a lot of words that might have come out of this first year that you need to talk about. This Thursday at 5 p.m., there is the Vision Board Workshop. That is the African American Leadership Council with United Way and a whole bunch of other people. That is going to be at 1001 Madison Avenue. It might be ticketed, but I think it might be a free ticket. So you just have to, Eventbrite, say you're showing
That's right.
up. I would check the website. That is, again, 5 p.m. to 7:30, Vision Board Workshop by the African American Leadership Council at 1001 Madison Avenue, Thursday. I'll be there. This Saturday at 2 p.m., there's Artist and Chess Panel, Making Master Moves in Art and the Game of Life. So if you are one of those oil, paint, pastel, illustrative artworks, they are going to have something going on for you at the Toledo Museum of Art.
Okay.
If you don't know the address to the Toledo Museum of Art, it is 2445 Monroe Street, Toledo, Ohio. I'm pretty sure this might be a free event or not. I don't click on links. So check on the tickets. It's on Facebook, social media. That is Saturday at 2:00. I hope to see your face there. They are also up for a award. So if anybody doesn't know about Toledo, our library has won equivalent of a Pulitzer Prize for being one of the best libraries in the entire country.
Okay. All right. I'll give them that.
And our library is now up it's actually still in one of 20. So it's still in top place over all of the other museums around the United States. We are still number one. I think it's been up for about 2 weeks. I vote every day. You can find the link on their website or their page. If you love your city, as my friend Jared, Boom the Bomb Frazier has been going around with his clothes and merch and everything. I saw one that said, love your city. If you love Toledo, go vote. It won't hurt none of your time or anything like that. This Saturday, also at 3:00, is the inaugural 419 Quesarita. There's no S in there, but that's how I'm going to say it. It's on Facebook. It's a Glass City Carita ball. It's going to be at the Golden Road.
I need to look at that. All right.
I know a few people that's going to be there. There's going to be live music.
But all right.
So the word is Querade. Yeah, and excuse my language. Can't think about what that is actually spells, but I'm sure if you meet somebody, if you go to the event, they're going to announce it for you. So get your masquerade mask. It's at the Golden Road, which is 3560 Door Street, Toledo. That is, I believe, at the intersection of Door and Burn, I want to say, where Jamaican Spice and the gas station is. If you're not,
bye. Okay, all right, I'm there.
So,
all right, okay.
Lastly, until we come back, the other event that I have in my timeline this Saturday at 6:00 is the Scribes Artist Spotlight Mixer. That is 101 North Summit. I want to say that's the Toledo Arts Commission. It's Toledo School for the Arts. Yes. So 101 North Summit, there is the Scribe, which is a local newspaper.
Yeah, they got some here in the library.
Yep. And they are accepting submissions. So if you're a writer, this is also the time. First quarter books and stuff like that. Tiny Desk, I believe, have something out for new submissions and like magazines, publishers. This is the time. If you got a few words, if you got a book, talk to some people. Just make sure to make an educated guess on who you want to be published with. I chose independency for myself and learned all of the other facts because, sometimes you might have a children's book or a novel about your life. And depending on your publisher, your editor, you could be upset with the final product. And there's no need to do that. So do your research. I try and help as many people out as I can with stuff. But those are some of the events that I have coming up for the next week until I see you. If you do have anything else in the community, shout us out, throw it on the page, let us know, because that is ultimately what we are here for.
All right. Hey, what I wanted to do, one of the things that I wanted to put up there was this week's edition of the Final Call newspaper. You'll find myself and some of the other brothers out this weekend, and each Saturday, and we've had pretty good weather for Saturday. All right. If it's too cold, I don't know what y'all gonna do. But in this issue of the paper, there's Leonard Peltier granted clemency after 50 years of imprisonment. If you know who Leonard Peltier is, he's a freedom fighter from the 60s, along with other political prisoners that we want released. President Biden had granted him clemency on his way out, as well as a pardon for Marcus Garvey. And back in, I guess, in the 30s, they were going hard on revolutionaries, and they would employ people that looked like me to join your organization, and then create divisions so that they can level some false charges. I think it was taxes that they leveled on Marcus Garvey in order to kill his organization, and that was the MO that they would use for a lot of organizations. So check out this.
Panthers.
Yeah. Even at one point, I think that in the early 70s, it was the same thing with the Nation of Islam, because from 1974 to, I believe, 1978, that's when they helped destroy the Nation of Islam using division, stool pigeons, creating drama within the organization and have it implode on itself. But we're one of the, I think maybe the only organization that the government destroyed, and we're like, nope, we're coming back.
Yep.
All right. So now
multiple times.
Yeah, we learned from those mistakes of the past, so that now, you just see it coming a mile away. And also, what I wanted to add on was this week, I think maybe earlier this month, the Frederick Douglass Community Center had a Dr. King banquet. I think we were going to bring the Kwanzaa drum runners. We were going to play the drums, and I think the weather didn't permit it to happen. So this Saturday, 10 a.m., the cost of the breakfast is $15, and that goes toward the Frederick Douglass Community Center. I'm going to have Jody buy my ticket so I can just slide in. All right. So join us for that. The guest speaker is going to be Clark Morgan, myself, and the Kwanzaa House Drum Runners. We're going to provide some drumming. I don't know if they asked us, but we're just going to show up.
Yeah,
but
I'll be there.
All right, we're going to do that. And I got a couple other things, Jody. If you like what we do, we want you to like our YouTube page. We're looking for 100,000 subscribers. All right. We're really close. We're probably 999 something away from it. All right. But we're really close. Every day we get a little bit closer. Like our page, if you want some of the, we do have some of the Black Lives Matter signs. They're $20 each. Inboxes, we'll get them out to you. I have just a few of the defund the police, Toledo police signs, defund12.org/Toledo. You can see what we're all about right there. And lastly, if you'd like to support what we do, you can support via Cash App, hashtag CSRN Toledo 419, PayPal CSRN 419. I believe that is all I needed to do for now, but we're going to get into 5 minutes of heat, and that's how we close things out with creative expression. We don't have a gavel or anything like that, and Jody has been our resident 5 minutes of heat person. How did we come up with the name 5 minutes of heat? It comes from that song, You're Too Young to Know, but it's all good. 5 minutes of funk by Houdini. We swapped out some of the words, remixed it, and we got 5 minutes of heat. What do you have for us today, Jody?
So today I am going to do one of the pieces that I rose the flag with in 2022 called Trust Us, a piece written shortly before Russia went to war with Ukraine. I was looking at things in the country going on, and I wrote this 1/12, so January 12th, 2022. It's in Childhood Trauma Series, Volume 1. And I won't be doing that this year. This year is going to be blip. So fair warning to everybody who might have seen that or might go on my page. Say go on my page, and it's the thing right there pinned at the top. You can actually hear me singing in it. But this year we're going to do Trust Us because, Orange Man just kind of is making everybody mad. And even though he's in one of my previous books, I believe that one is Tears of the Wounded, Volume 2. I have a poem weirdly about everything that's happening right now, which we told y'all in 2016. So
y'all wouldn't listen.
I hope you're listening now. When
That's
funding
right.
gets cut, I hope you're listening. But so this is my expression on what we see on a daily basis as activists. So I'm going to give you my intro because the next time you see us, it will be Black History Month.
That's right.
So I am an open book, yes, an open book to those that decide to read. 1,000 words, yes, 1,000 words to those who've only caught a glimpse of me. And a lifetime, yes, a lifetime to those that can say they were part of my story. If you are anywhere under the sound of my voice, you are now family. Because on this stage, yes, on this stage is where I share the most vulnerable parts of myself. And I hope, yes, I hope that you hear me. So let's begin. Peace. Trust us. When you are too sick to fight, too scared to run, and misinformed to the point where you don't trust anyone, they will come for you. They will come for your ability to travel. They will come for your ability to feed your family. They will come for your ability to shelter your family. They will come for your ability to educate your family. They will come for your ability to provide for your family. When you are too sick to fight, too scared to run, and misinformed to the point where you don't trust anyone, we will incentivize you. We will use your religious beliefs against you. We will offer you freedom. We will confuse you with choice. We will give you everything that delays you from independent thought. When you are too sick to fight, too scared to run, and misinformed to the point where you don't trust anyone, you will do anything we tell you to. You will march, protest, and divide yourselves amongst your strength. You will fight over everything we tell you to. You will do the ostracizing and identifying for us. You will obey. You will not question. When you are too sick to fight, too scared to run, and misinformed to the point where you don't trust anyone, give us everything we ask for. Give us your identity to sell to our designer products. Give us more time than you have to spend with your family or yourself. Give us your fear, hate, love, dreams, and we will create a lifestyle, yes, a lifestyle you will never want to leave. Give us your pain, sorrow, anguish, loneliness, and nightmare-filled tears so we can create a world where you're the victim in every scenario. Give us your hope. When you are too sick to fight, too scared to run, and misinformed to the point where you don't trust anyone, trust us, and we will give you everything we feel you deserve. They will come for you. And as long as you trust us, giving us everything we ask for, we will offer you, yes, offer you anything we want. In peace.
And as always, we snap our fingers. All right, Jody, I know we didn't get into our Black Lives Matter moments. We'll circle back around.
I got one real quick.
All right, let's go.
Flag raise.
Yeah,
What are the
okay.
organization? I'm sorry for, I'm sorry.
No.
I stand on the shoulders of greatness because it had not been for NAACP, SNCC, the Black Panthers, and every other erased form of gathering that we did, because not all of them had special names or good structure, just like us now. We are the survivors of the 2016 of everybody waking up.
Ooh,
so I thank everybody that still follows us. I thank everybody that hasn't martyred themselves into saying, I don't care no more.
That's right.
Yeah.
And as always, all lives can't matter until
Black lives matter.
And Black lives can't matter until all Black lives matter. Justice or else?
Yeah.
Peace.